All right, it is time to meet our players for round number 2. On the blue side, it's Johan. And on the red side, it's Paul Aronson.
We got Paulie. This is a TCG matchup. And they are going to get ready to start. We did see 2 red sleeves last round. We're going to get to see the awesome blue sleeves as well. The players have got randomly chosen which color sleeves they got, and they're both really fantastic.
And we've got Paulie going first here, starting off with Black Metal Dragon. And if you see Black Metal Dragon, that only means one thing. You are up against Dragon Link.
That's right, and he's going to link away into Striker Dragon, so he's going to get both these effects. Since that Black Metal is sent to the graveyard, he can add that Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon from the deck to the hand, and Striker Dragon's going to add Boot Sector Launch.
Boot Sector Launch, the field spell for the Rocket theme. It has multiple effects that allow you to special summon.
Striker Dragon, kind of the card that started Dragon Link. Once that card was released, it really became a deck that has been almost like unstoppable through many hits throughout the Forbidden Limitless through the years.
As long as there are dragons to special summon, there will be Dragon Link.
Yeah, but it has evolved, but it's definitely still good. So he's going to banish the Striker Dragon to special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon from the hand. Maybe just looking for a Seal's Path here. We'll have to see where he goes from this point. Going to use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to bring back the Black Metal.
Now these two are being linked away.
Might be Seal's Pass.
Could be Romulus. No, it's Seals. All right, so he goes into Seals. We're going to get the Black Metal Dragon effect again.
Yeah, so the option here, you could activate the Boot Sector Launch to have it as a field spell if he doesn't have the Tracer. To just have an option to be able to chain to something like Infinite Impermanence to use the Seals to bounce your own field spell back to your hand. We'll have to see if that is what he's considering right now. Paulie is he won the 250th YCS in Los Angeles, and he won a remote dual YCS in 2022, and came in second place at YCS Costa Rica. So he has had quite the past couple of years.
And he also made it here through the World's Qualifying Points playoff, where he just ran through everybody with Castro on his side of the bracket. And he's got a Chaos space here. Always want to see that in Dragon Link.
Very
Pitch
good.
his Effect Veiler to get the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent.
All right, so he definitely has more than just Seal's Pass here. If he so chooses, decided to establish the Seals as early as possible. It's also another way to kind of hedge your bets against something like Nibiru, the Primal Being, if you're worried about your opponent playing it.
It doesn't matter who tributes Hieratic Seals, even it's you or your opponent.
Now he's going to banish that Effect Veiler to summon that Collapse Serpent. Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and the White Dragon Wyvern Burster are limited to 1, but with something like Chaos Space, you can put the banish card back into the bottom of your deck, so you kind of get an extra copy of one of those cards.
He's checking his extra deck, checking his zones. Gonna go with Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. All right, puts that in the Pendulum Zone, activates its effect, takes what, 1,000?
Yep, and just to put the Striker Dragon back into the extra deck. This is why he banished that Striker Dragon, so he could summon it back again here. I was wondering what he was going to link, how he's going to link it away, but now the Chaos Emperor Dragon kind of explains all his plays.
That is not a guard dragon play, is it not?
I think so. There we go. There's the right Chaos Emperor Dragon.
Pays 1,000 life points, get a banished dragon, then destroy this card, and add the banished one to your hand. So we'll have 7,000 life points over on Paulie's side.
Gonna add the Wyvern Burster. Now he'll be able to banish that Collapse Serpent to special summon Wyvern Burster and then use that Chaos Space afterwards.
Chaos Space can put it back into the deck and then draw you a card. All right, shuffling the deck there. Since we're about to do a draw, it needs to be randomized.
Goes to the bottom, draws a fresh card.
All right, so Striker Dragon, Seals, Wyvern Burster. It doesn't look intimidating, but a lot of things can spiral out of this.
You might look to find a way to get into that Boral End Dragon. Probably checking his extra deck, seeing what the next path is going to be for him here. I like this as a TCG matchup. Both these players play a part of the TCG from Europe and North America.
Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine.
That's why he probably didn't go into that Romulus. Already had the
to.
Ravine in the hand. Going to discard a card here. He's going to discard Rocket Recharger. an attempt to send a dragon monster from his deck to the graveyard. Is it going to be that Abza dragon that I can only guess would be in his deck? There's also a lot of cool things you can do with Starliege Safer and the Beastal Lubellion in Dragon Link now, as well, if they are cards he decided to pack into his deck.
Spending an awful lot of time on this search. This is bordering slow play. Like once you go through the deck the first time, then put it down and then check your hand and then pick it back up, there's a good chance that if there is a judge in the vicinity, you'll end up with a penalty.
Yeah, you definitely want to play quickly and as fast as you can in most cases. Can't see what he's sent.
Off the screen.
It is Abza Dragon though. So since the Abza Dragon was sent to the graveyard, he's going to be able to add a rocket monster from the deck to hand. He's going to go for Rocket Tracer. So now he's just trying to find a way to get to that Boral End Dragon, if I had to guess.
Just a note for at home, please keep your graveyard in a neat pile. That is required by the rules.
Indeed it is.
And one of the reasons that it's required by the rules is we need to be able to see what's in there. And while Ollie can see all the cards in his graveyard, as it extends onto the other table that you see on his side of the screen, everybody else is a little lost as to what's going on over there.
So he's going to link away into the Guard Dragon Pisty, and he's going to be able to add that Collapse Serpent since he put it back with the Chaos Space. And Pisty, now there is a zone that is being pointed to by Pisty and Striker Dragon. Will be able to summon back a dragon from the graveyard or banished. Doesn't look like he has any banished dragons, so imagine he'll be going after this Rocket Recharger, so he'll be able to summon the Tracer from his hand as well, maybe synchro into a level 8 synchro monster.
Now you might be thinking, well, why not just get the Metal Dragon back? But if you haven't played recently, you might not know that Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon's text changed. You can only use its effect once per turn. It's not like it was in the 2010s.
Still quite strong, but not as abusable, if you will. Probably considering replacing Dragon Ravine with that Boot Sector launch.
All right, there it is. Now he can special summon some rocket monsters from the hand, up to 2 with different names in defense position. Second effect, not relevant here because Joho doesn't have any cards on the field.
Let's look like what he's thinking. Yeah, but he's going to use Tracer Effect.
So we summon the Tracer from hand, correct?
Yep, with the Boot Sector launch.
That's the one gotten from Abza.
Yep, and now he's going to summon Rocket Caliber. Okay, so he does play another level 4 rocket, so he doesn't have to bring back that Recharger.
That's good, because you want to do it with its own effect rather than have to get it back elsewhere.
Yep, he is now locked into dark monsters from the extra deck. And he's locked into dragons right now as long as Pitsy is on the field.
Well, I'm sure you can find a good dark dragon monster in your extra deck.
There's a few of them.
There's just a few.
Nope, looks like he is thinking about bringing back Red Eyes.
All right. It is a high-level monster, so maybe that matters.
So if you're wondering why that token is on top of Polly's deck there, it's just to say that the deck needs to be shuffled before he draws a card or ends his turn. So it looks like he might be using Striker Dragon to target... Oh, Striker Dragon to destroy... I'm not certain, but
destroy Pisty and then special summon back.
Oh, he special summoned back the Black Metal with the Rocket Recharger. Okay, so he destroyed the Pisty with Striker Dragon to add Recharger, and then Recharger used the effect to bring back the Black Metal Dragon.
All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dragons on the field using every zone allowed.
Can never have too many dragons.
You know, 7 might be too many dragons. I don't think you can have 7.
Sounds like a challenge. I'll find a way to extra link with all dragons.
Can you think of an extra link that's all dragons?
Maybe something with like triple burst in the middle. Find a way to connect it over.
Well, triple burst only has the up, down, right.
Up, down, right. Yeah, then it'd be tough without some pretty weird link monsters. Oh, so he's going to quad Boral Dragon here.
All right. Quad Boral Dragon is a bit of an interesting one. It's got an effect that destroys something on the field. So you can discard a card, target a face-up monster on the field. So, in theory, destroy your opponent's monster, but more often than not, you're destroying your own in order to continue your combo in a different way.
Paulie using all of his cards here, sitting on no cards in hand, and Joe has been holding onto this infinite impermanence. He's going to use it on the quad Boral.
All right, so you can't use the hieratic seal to try to get around that. It can only be used on the opponent's turn. So stuck here, currently the only things that can be disruptive at the moment are the quad Boral and the hieratic seal, and I'm thinking Paulie maybe wants something a little more significant than that.
Yeah, interesting. He had the opportunity just to go into something like Borreload Savage Dragon, but decided to go for the quad Boral.
All right, so these two are going away. It's got to be a Link summon. Maybe they're not going away. I don't know what he declared here. Hand's a little shaky there. I think he's got some nerves.
All right, so just go into the triple burst.
Triple burst, co-linked.
So he's going to summon the Chaos Dragon of Armageddon back from the extra by banishing a light and dark monster from his graveyard.
Now, notably, that's a pendulum monster. So what he did right there was create the space for it to be summoned.
Oh, because it's unlocked by the zone by the triple burst.
Unlocked by the triple burst.
Smart stuff here from Paulie. So it looks like he's just going to be able to have Boral and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Boral and Dragon
and seals. This is cool. I've seen a lot of Dragon Links end on Boral end, but not often do I see the seals and Boral end.
Now, is there a way to get one more monster? Could you get a synchro with that?
I think if the Infinite Permanence wasn't there, he would have also had that Borreload Savage Dragon as well.
I think that's what it stopped. We'll see. So Boral and Dragon. Be very careful about the protection effect on Boral and Dragon. Though. This is something that could come up during the tournament. Can't. So he did get Borreload Savage Dragon. Is it the Rocket Coder?
Missed it, but he does have the full setup here through an Infinite Impermanence.
Oh, with Recharger.
Oh, because the Caliber is also a tuner. Okay. Because the Boral in was able to bring back the Recharger and then synchro into the save.
It can target your own thing to bring back the other monster.
All right, so definitely solid open. Now,
set 1, 2, 3.
Not revealing his strategy just quite yet. Could be a number of things with just some face down spell and trap cards.
And looks like that's it. Just set 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I was mentioning the protection effect on Boral and Dragon. Just note that it can be targeted by trap cards, which is relevant considering how many face-down cards are here right now.
Definitely. And it looks like he's going to use Seals here to return the card that was equipped to the Borreload Savage, and now he's going to be able to tribute to summon the Bestial Magnemite.
Yeah, so notably with Borreload Savage Dragon, it doesn't need that monster equipped to use its negation ability. Those counters are set in when the first effect resolves. It's just the attack boost that you need the equip card to stick around for. So if you're okay with just 3,000 attack points, you can do a move like this to return the Triple Burst Dragon to your extra deck.
Paulie's going to add a copy of the Bestial Rebellion, one of my favorite cards.
And this is all happening in Jaho's end phase.
Indeed.
And now we're going to use Boral and Dragon, target the Magnemite, negate the Magnemite's effects, and then special summon back the Rocket Tracer. And Jaho has had quite enough of this, and wisely gets the concession in right now before any of the cards have been revealed. So we don't know what he's playing, and more importantly for Jaho, Paulie doesn't know what he's playing.
Yeah, as far as Paulie knows, maybe Jaho just drew bad with a number of decks that he could be playing. Doesn't have to necessarily put him on one of those spell and trap heavy strategies.
And there's a lot of different decks that play a lot of different cards that you might set for this tournament. So you're just guessing at this point if you're Paulie.
Yeah, I think if I'm Paulie, though, just seeing the 3 spell and traps, even though you kind of can hedge your bets, maybe not side as heavy as you would if you knew the matchup, but still put in like some really good cards that are good at going second. So things like there's plenty of options that you can have in your side deck that might be useful when you're going second.
I mean, you think just spell and trap removal, right?
Yeah, something like some spell and trap removal
that destroys a spell or trap.
Yeah, I mean, something to pave the way for your dragon monsters to be able to not only summon onto the board, but stay there once they're on there. But you saw like Paulie be able to make that amazing board.
All right, game number 2. Jaho's going first. Sets 4.
I'm starting to think he is
And
playing
a monster.
I think he is playing a heavy spell and trap strategy, if I had to guess. Or he's just drawn bad both games. We'll have to see.
Yeah. That is, I mean, it's not quite the universal sign of surrender, but it's not great.
It's not great.
We'll have to see what these back row cards are. See if that changes the outlook. Set monster face down, though. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, not a lot of decks like to set monsters face down. It's an interesting one. Grapekeeper Spy, perhaps? I'm dated.
Oh, no!
Harpies! Feather Duster!
Every time it seeks out those hands that don't look so hot and finds them. And we see Welcome Labyrinth. All right, so Jaho's deck is revealed here. Chain link number 2 is Welcome Labyrinth. Let's see if Polly has anything else here. Otherwise, Labyrinth monster will be special. So wait, what's that then? Is that a furniture? Is that Stovey?
It must
or
be.
Two clock or something?
Must be. I wonder why he would set it, though.
It has to be face up, right, to use the effect?
Yeah.
Or in your hand?
Still have to wait to find out what that face down monster is, but this
Oh,
Welcome...
that's the only card he can chain too, so he's losing 3. He's getting something out of the Welcome Labyrinth. It's Lovely Labyrinth.
Silver Castle looking to reset one of these trap cards that is going to the graveyard.
Can't do it yet, though. That's an ignition effect.
Yeah, we'll have to be on his turn if it happens to survive that long.
The other cards look like Big Welcome Labyrinth.
That's useful.
Okay, I see what's happening now. So you let the Big Welcome Labyrinth go so you can use its graveyard effect.
Yep. Because since you control the level 8 Fiend.
And the others were Dogmatic Punishment and Skill Drain. Skill Drain limited in this tournament.
Could have been devastating if Polly didn't have that Harpy's Feather Duster. Now let's see what he has to follow up.
Yeah, so seeing those cards, that hand looks way better than it did when it was set 4 on a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's got the Chaos Space. The starting with Chaos Space is just so good.
So he'll be able to
Dragon Link.
discard a light or a dark monster and then add a monster of the opposite attribute that cannot be normal summoned.
But he has to pitch Chaos Dragon Levy in here for it.
Can get it back with something like Starly Seyfert if he's packing it in his Dragon Link deck. So we might see that coming back later on in this turn.
He gets the Wyver Burster.
Discarded Dark gets to add the light. In true Chaos fashion.
This would be huge if Jaho can come back from that Duster and win this thing. The Big Welcome is going to be crucial, though.
Yeah, so he at least has 1 point of interaction here during Polly's turn.
Because if you can hit like an extra deck monster with that and then hit something else with Lovely Labyrinth's effect,
you'll have a chance.
Goes for Wyver Burster.
Yeah, that's right. The Lovely will be able to at least send a card from the hand or field if a monster leaves the field via a trap effect.
Yes, so Jaho's thinking right here, is this where I want to use Big Welcome? If I send that back and Polly doesn't have anything else, he can start snowballing all these trap cards back with Lovely Labyrinth next turn. But if he does have something else, doomed.
Yeah, I mean, now the Striker Dragon is going to come out and on summon that's going to let him add a Boot Sector launch from the deck to the hand.
I don't know, like this one just seems so tough, especially when you're behind a game. I kind of feel like I might have taken the risk there and bounced the Wyver Burster.
Yeah, possibly might have been something he needed to do. He also gets to add that Collapse Serpent.
Because like if you get the Boot Sector launch, that represents just a ton of extra summons.
And all the effects, like Tracer is a quick effect, so once the Rocket Tracer hits on the field, if you try and return it, you're going to be able to quick effect chain to summon another monster. You're going to banish the Wyver Burster to summon Collapse Serpent. In defense mode, it's going to prompt Juho to think.
So is this where he's going to use it? I don't know that you're going to use it if you didn't use it on Wyver Burst, that you would use it on Collapse Serpent, right?
Yeah, I mean, he might just be thinking just to get the 2 monsters off the field, because he could return one and then send the other one at the Lovely. But it looks like he is going to shuffle. You're probably going to shuffle up before he uses this Chaos Space to put the Wyver Burster back on bottom. Chaos Space is so good in Dragon Link. The games where you have that versus the ones you don't are night and day different.
All right, so now the Boost Sector launch is in hand. I don't think we know anything else. these two are going away.
Maybe here comes the Romulus.
Yep.
Dragoon Knight Romulus lets him add a Dragon Ravine on summon. The biggest thing is all these effects are on summon, so there's really no point to use that big welcome to stop the adding effects.
All right. So Romulus is here. And that's the, putting that token on top of the deck is the indication that it's not been randomized. And it will need to be before the next draw. I'm just trying to think, like, what is he looking for? Like, what's going to make him, is it safer?
He does have the safer. I mean, yeah, if you haven't used the big welcome yet, I imagine you have to use it on right now. Because the Starly's safer to let him access the Bestial Rebellion, getting him to like Bestial Magnuma, and just having more access to more dragons.
But the other thing is, like, we don't know if he just drew that safer off of the Chaos
True.
space, for instance. It's a tough position here, and that Duster is just brutal.
Yeah, if that skill drain was on the field, we'd be singing a different tune right now. That is for sure. Jaho contemplating, thinking. He knows that this turn is important. This moment is important. He's already down a game. Paulie in a commanding position here in game number 2.
And it's a long time to think, too. Like, this is another situation where you're probably getting a slow play warning.
Potentially.
Like, no matter what the magnitude of the occasion is, you still have to play at a reasonable pace. And it looks like it's fine.
Yep.
And we're going safer. All right, so the safer's going through as well. What could he be waiting for? What is the magic place here where we use Big Welcome Labyrinth?
Oh, interesting. So he's going to use it to add Rocket Tracer, not relying on Dragon Ravine to add the Tracer. Oh, so he's probably trying to find a way to get to 2 rocket monsters. So he gets to add the Tracer now, and now he can use Ravine to send Abzorrouter to add another rocket monster, so he'll be able to summon 2 rocket monsters from his hand.
Should be
with
the
Boot
coder,
Sector.
right? Get the Rocket Coder at this
Yep,
point?
or Caliber, yep.
Yes, Rocket Caliber, not the one that you can link in hand with.
Both good. No, he's thinking. I can't tell if he discarded from his hand or not.
Yeah, it looks like he's discarding from hand to send Abzorrouter Dragon. Once again, if you're watching at home, this is not how you should arrange your graveyard. It should be in a nice neat stack.
Especially when you're on stream, it helps us out a lot. He's going to banish that Starly's Safer from the graveyard to add the Bestial Rebellion. Okay, so he sent the Bestial Rebellion on a Dragon Ravine, so he's able to add it back to his hand. And now I can't tell what he discarded. Oh, he discarded the Bestial Rebellion. That was so fast I couldn't see it go. So he wanted to get the Tracer, not to have the extra rocket monster, but just to be able to have access Bestial Magnum.
Just confirming something with his opponent right now.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure that he understands like what the Lovely will do with the Big Welcome Labyrinth. That's a double interaction there.
And whether or not he's allowed to use it. So some of these graveyard effect cards say things like, accept the turn this card is sent to the graveyard. Regular Welcome Labyrinth, the resetting effect, you can't use it the same turn you send it to the graveyard. But the monster return hand effect of the Big Welcome Labyrinth, you can.
Yeah, you just can't use it the same turn you activated the Big Welcome Labyrinth.
You can only use one of the 2 effects, which is why leaving that one alone and just using regular Welcome Labyrinth was the play.
All right, going to reveal Bestial Magnum. It looks like he's going to target the Collapse Serpent to special summon.
Jaho's body language looks a little defeated, but maybe he's just hiding something.
Waiting for his moment.
Waiting to strike.
Bestial Magnet, incredible. If you get to special summon just by banishing light or dark, and on summon during the end phase, you'll be able to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand besides itself.
That's any dragon monster.
Yep, which is quite beneficial in Dragon Link.
It's good in a lot of different decks. So, for example, you need dark monsters in your hand to reveal and vanquish Soul, like we saw last time around.
Branded, you can have Fallen Albaz.
And the Caesar Valius is a dragon.
Oh, that's a good one. Going to tribute the Magnemite from the field to summon the Bestial Lubellion, and before he can activate the effect to activate something like Branded Regained from the deck, it's going to prompt Jaho to use the Big Welcome Labyrinth to return the monster to the extra deck, and now he's going to use the Lovely to send a card from either Polly's hand or field to the graveyard. He's going to send the Bestial Lubellion from the field to the graveyard.
That's a destruction effect.
Oh, it destroys. Okay.
Destroys it. Yeah, destroy one card in your opponent's hand at random or from their field, in which case you choose. Does not target, though.
Yeah, that's where I got a little confused on it. And now...
All right, so now Polly, he's still got the Boot Sector launch in hand that he added a long time ago with Striker Dragon.
He still has that the Tracer as well, the Rocket Tracer.
Didn't get that second Rocket Monster, though, so let's see.
He has a Bestial Saurnier as well.
Saurnier, that's the one that you can play at 3 in this tournament, right? Every other Bestial's limited?
I think so. I think it is the one that remains. Or I think Saurnier might be limited as well. I think Baldrake? No, Baldrake's limited, and Saurnier's the one at 3, yep. Saurnier I'm a big fan of in Branded. It also kind of works in this deck. You can have the option to play something like Branded Beast, and then you get to activate the Branded Regain to bring, or the other way around. You can play Regain and Beast, activate the Beast, and send Branded Regain to activate it.
Yep. So Saurnier special summon, we're swapping big Boot Sector launch. Boot Sector launch summons Rocket Tracer, and now Polly's speeding up. He's seen the lines. He's going to use Rocket Tracer, destroy Boot Sector launch, get Rocket Caliber out of the deck.
Now he's locked into Dark Monster.
Pretty soon, Jaho's going to be on 0 cards.
Yeah, not looking good here for Jaho. Going to synchro for the Bestial Dispatter. He's going to need a dragon monster, and he does in fact have dragons. Bestial Dispatter can summon back a lighter dark monster that is banished. It also has the cool effect if your opponent activates the effect, or activates any effect, you can shuffle back a banished card, and based upon whose banished cards you shuffle back, it has 2 different effects. If you shuffle back your banished card, it'll destroy the card. If you shuffle back your opponent's banished card, it negates the effect. It works really well with Called by the Grave. It can feel pretty bad if you get Called by the Grave while they have Dispatter on the field, because they negate that effect, and they also have another negate that's coming. Now, a Synchro Summon for Borreload, Savage Dragon, equipping the Striker Dragon, so he gets that 1 counter.
Yep, and Savage Dragon's going to be bigger than Lovely Labyrinth, even without the extra equip.
And Jaho's body language not indicating New Zealand much of a comeback here.
And we'll at least get to see what that face-down card is.
I am curious.
So going into the battle phase, Bestial Despotter attacks Lovely Labyrinth. It is more than enough to defeat her. And then Borreload Savage Dragon attacks the mystery monster, which is Kuklok. Kuklok. Not very useful with that hand.
Definitely not. Might as well set it down to the field, and that's going to be it for Polly now.
All right. So they're recording the life points, and then Jaho's on 1 card, and his opponent can negate any 1 card and then another one, which essentially means that he can't do anything on his turn, sets 1 face down, and passes back over to Polly.
Polly moments away from taking the game 2 and being 2-0, so he does have Branded Beast. He's going to be able to activate Branded Beast here. And during the end phase, it'll activate the Branded Regain that he sent with Saurnier, I imagine. And the cool thing about Branded Regained is you can bring back Bestial Dispatter with Branded Regained.
It is Bestial. It's a Bestial. Any Bestial monster in your graveyard, as long as you special summoned it correctly.
Yeah, this game is all but over. He's going to banish Starlight Seyfert from the graveyard to add back the Bestial Lubellion.
It's just a matter of getting enough damage to finish it right now.
Discards the Bestial Lubellion. That's going to add a Bestial monster, which will give him enough damage.
His Despotter's what, 35?
Yep.
So 35 and 3250 plus another Bestial should be enough. Just checking that graveyard one more time. Make sure, another big welcome didn't get stuck in there. Fortunately, his graveyard habits are spreading to the other side of the field now.
So he's going to banish Lovely to summon Bestial Saurnier. Polly's his own worst enemy right now. The more time he takes is the only opportunity here for Jaho to win the game.
And that's the other thing, though. Like, you don't want to accumulate penalties.
Yep.
Like, getting 1 slow play 1 time is fine. Getting 1 slow play 1 time every round is going to get upgraded eventually.
Yeah, especially since you have 7 rounds of Swiss during the turn, and those penalties carry over into Top Cut.
He's going to activate Quick Launch here. Yeah, I'm not sure any of this is necessary. I think you just battle phase win, right?
Torrential Tribute. Nope. It is Big Welcome Labyrinth.
Big Welcome Labyrinth is a really good draw. I mean, one card isn't gonna do it for you, but if you're only drawing one card, Big Welcome is one of the best cards in the Labyrinth deck. It's really tremendous.
I'd be hard pressed to think you wouldn't negate this here.
Is there a reason not to?
No, because you have Ash Blossom.
Oh my goodness! Wow. There's just
brutal.
nothing Jaho could do.
I mean, yeah, Harvey's Feather Duster just had all the answers here. Things just coming up all for Paulie here. He's going to be able to synchro on a Baron to floor.
Why not? There could be a secret effect coming from behind the chair to negate with it.
Gets to attack for game. Wow, Paulie just putting on a clinic here with Dragon Link, really showing he has learned to master. It's a deck I've never seen him play personally. I mean, we've seen him play Kashtira in the past. I think he won the Remote Duel YCS with like an Adventure Synchro deck of sorts, which was...
The Adventure Synchro deck is similar.
Yeah,
though,
very
right?